Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel and to another Transformers review. Today we're going to be taking a look at X-Transbots Master X Series 85 Scientist Janssen, or Masterpiece Perceptor. And I wasn't going to get this figure, and then I was, and then I wasn't, and yeah, I did. I've been wanting a Masterpiece scale Perceptor for years. I know about the Fans Toys one, the first version, but to me it was just ugly. I didn't like it. And then it came down to either Fans Toys version 2 or this X-Transbots version. And I have heard that there have been issues with this figure, but I'm gonna get to that in a bit. But it basically came down to price for me. For the price of the Fans Toys one, I could buy 3 other third-party figures, and that's what I chose to do. I chose to get this, and I got the 2 Moon Studios train bots. So yeah, this figure is not without his problems, but I will get to that shortly. But let's have a look at the box. And this is my first X-Transbots figure, so this is all quite new to me, and I do quite like the box. I think it's pretty cool. You got a really nice picture of Perceptor on the front there, showing that I mean, this should have been a pen really, because pen mightier than the sword, I reckon. But yes, I do know that this is referencing that one episode. But yes, it's a nice box. It looks pretty cool. And then on this side you've got more of that nice artwork there. Some X-Transbot stuff on the side there. My mum had a look at this box and she was trying to read this because she's 80 and her eyes aren't brilliant. She was trying to read this, and then she went round to the other side of the box and went, "Oh, it's big on there. I could have just read that." And I'm like, "Yeah, you could have, yeah." I didn't notice, to be fair. I wasn't being mean, but anyway, you've got that there. You sort of kind of see it. It's a bit awkward, but you get it. And then on the back, I do like this. I like this very much. I like this G1E artwork. I think that's pretty cool. And the lovely text spec at the bottom there with a little bio. Yeah, it's really nice. I love this box. I try not to keep boxes these days because I've got so many, but this is a really nice box, so I think I will be keeping this one. And then on the bottom you've got some pictures of I don't know if these are, I'm an idiot, these are the mini bots that you get inside. I was thinking for a minute, I don't know if these are figures that they've done or if they're upcoming. No, you idiot, they're the ones that come in the box. God almighty. Professional me, and I. Anyway, right, let me crack him out of the box and we'll take a closer look at what he comes with. Alright then, so here is Janssen out of his box, and I absolutely love this guy. I really do. I'm so glad that I decided to pull the trigger on him and, you know, see for myself what kind of a figure this was. Yeah, reviews are always helpful. I mean, goodness, I try and do these to be helpful to other people, so they are always appreciated. And you know, you watch Ben's Collectibles or MGo's review of this figure and he's absolutely fine, and then you go to the likes of maybe Bobby Skullface and he had no end of problems. But sometimes you just have to get a figure in hand yourself to see what it's like. I am going to try and address some of the issues that I've seen other people have. I can't address the issue of leg breakages out of the box because that hasn't happened to me and I'm not entirely sure where it's breaking. But I can hopefully help to address with the shoulder issues. So yes, but let me get to that when I get to it. Let's have a look at what he comes with, and this is another reason I decided to go for this figure, because he comes with loads of stuff. I mean, this is really impressive amounts of accessories. But before we get to those, let's have a look at the other things that he comes with. Well, he comes with a card, and it's a nice plastic one. So yeah, none of those cheapy cardboard ones. This is very nice. So that'll be going in my collection of cards. Maybe I would have perhaps liked the picture on the front to be a bit brighter, because it's a bit dull and dark, but yeah, it's a card, it's just going to go in an album, so it doesn't matter too much. I did quite like this. I don't know if this is a normal thing that you get with X-Transbots figures, but it's just a little brochure with, you know, pictures of other things that are coming out. I quite like the picture down here of MP44. I didn't get MP44 down because he's on a top shelf right at the back, but I did get MP10 down so we can have a look at how they look together. And then they've got some stuff in here, stuff that's upcoming. So yeah, some stuff in here I'd definitely be interested in. This looks brilliant. This guard looks fantastic. Might grab myself one of those if they're not too expensive. And definitely want to get their Desaurus, because this looks amazing. I like the Planet X one. I don't like that you have to buy the add-on kit to get the G1 cartoon look. So yeah, this I'm going to want to get this for sure. And oh, look at that beast mode looks stunning, gorgeous, and the breast formers, they look amazing. So yeah, it's just it's a book of upcoming stuffs. Yeah, I did get this extra piece as well. It just tells you what to do with the little wheels, but we'll get to that when we get to the transformation. So that's a nice little addition. It's not exciting, but it's nice. Yeah, and then you get the instructions. We just sit. There we go. Poor Goose is falling all over the shop. Nearly called him Grudge there for a minute. Too much discovery. These are the instructions, and I have to say they weren't terrible. I figured they were going to be really bad, but no, they look alright. They got the job done for the most part. There's a couple of bits that I didn't quite get right because it wasn't massively easy to follow in some parts, but I got there in the end. So yeah, so there's the instructions. Right, and that brings us then to all the lovely accessories. So, where should we start with? I'll flip the faces all over the shop now. Where are they gone? Get back there. Well, I guess let's get the war-y type stuff out of the way, and then we'll get to the sciencey stuff, because that's the good stuff. So, you get these two extra heads, which I believe are the IDW heads. I don't know. oh, excuse me. I don't read those comics. So I haven't really thought much about it, to be honest. But yeah, you get two. You get that one, and then you get this one where he seems to have like a sight or a scope or something going on his eye. So yep, you get those two. Now it does say in the instructions that you can't transform the figure with these heads on. I don't know if that's true, because I'll be honest, I took the head off to try and put one of these on, and it was so bloody difficult getting the head back on. I just gave up. I gave up trying to put one of these on, and I just put the original head back on, because I've no interest in the IDW ones myself. So there you go. That's kind of what it looks like, with the IDW head on the side. I mean, you get a general idea. I don't know how many of you will be buying this for IDW though, because it's very cartoon accurate. So, but anyway, like I say, you get those two. Double check if you do pick this figure up. Double check the instructions, because I'm not entirely sure. It does have the thing that folds down. That wants to just pop right out. Look at that. Yeah, but just double check if you're buying this for IDW. Double check that. So that's that. He comes with a bunch of weapons on these little clip things, so they're stored quite nicely. So he gets like his G1 gun, and then G1 missile launcher, which is pretty cool. Now, I did bring my G1 figure down, but I forgot that I don't display my Perceptor with his weapons, and his weapons are all packed away, so sorry, no comparison for them. But yeah, it's pretty cool, and I thought, oh, that's just gonna... Let me just get this out. I thought it's just gonna look like the original weapon. I mean, it's not gonna do anything, right? Yeah, no. Oh, flipping heck, I can't even get it off now. Come on, they're on there quite tightly. So right, so you get this bit, which is the launcher bit, and then you get this bit, which on the original would have been chromed out, and then they do go together like the original. I thought, oh, that looks pretty cool. That's pretty G1-y. And I thought, well, it's not going to do anything, but no, it does. Look, it does actually work. I'm overjoyed by that. It's stupid, but it's fun because we don't get this with toys anymore because it's too dangerous. Crikey, too dangerous. I don't know. All of us kids in the 80s, we must have avoided certain death every time we picked a figure up. But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. I like that. That's fun. And like I say, it does come with his cartoony gun, so that's nice. Again, I probably won't have him holding it because he's a scientist, not a warrior. So yeah, but it's cool. You know, it's good to have. And then you get this also. You get another lot of weapons. And if memory serves, this one is also the G1 toy gun. Get that out. You have to slide that one out. So that bit goes in there, and you get a big long weapon. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that all three of these are the original G1 toy guns. So yeah, it looks pretty cool. It does look pretty cool. They all look really nice. But like I say, they're not really for me. I don't really care for guns with Perceptors. But they're there if you want them. So that's cool. And then you can't do it with that one. But with this one, you can put this little blast effect on. So you get a nice little orange blast effect, which is pretty cool. That's quite nice, and it's just done in clear orange. It is firm plastic. It's not that spongy, springy stuff. It is just one piece of hard plastic. But as you can see, it's quite nice. Mine's got a big air bubble in it, but you know, again, probably just going to put this in a baggie and never look at it again, to be honest. But you get all those. Those are all the weapons, and let me just move some of these out of the way. Let me take this one, and yes, you can of course hold them. So it's the normal thing. It's just a tab on the weapon and a hole in his hand. So let's just get that around there. Fiddle with his fingers a bit. So there you can hold it, no problem. And let's put that blast effect back on. See what that looks like. That looks pretty cool. Yeah, that's alright. That's alright. That looks quite nice. But as I said, for me, Perceptor is not a warrior. He is a scientist, and yeah, I like all the sciencey stuff that he comes with. So he comes with. Now I'm not entirely sure what this is. When I first saw the pictures for this, I thought, "Hey, up! They've got that conical flask upside down because he was holding it that way up." I don't know if it's meant to be a conical flask or if it's meant to be like a funnel for something else. I don't know. I don't know if it'll go in the beaker. It will go in the beaker. You could probably put it in the beaker. So maybe it's a flask. I don't know. But anyway, he comes with that. I'm just remembering the stuff from GCSE science. I don't really know anymore. I've forgotten half that. Now tell a lie, I've forgotten almost all of it. But yeah, it's just done in clear plastic. That one's quite nice. And then he does come with a little beaker, which again is very nice. Got a little lip on it, so he can pour energon if he so desires. But again, it's just done in clear plastic. It looks really nice. But my favourite has got to be the test tube. Lost it. Yeah, it's got to be the test tube for me. I love the test tube. I think that's brilliant. I know, silly things, isn't it? But thankfully, there's no air bubble in that. I think it would maybe have been nice if they'd put a little bit of colour in it, maybe just to sort of there or halfway. I don't know, maybe just some purple for energon. That would have been quite nice, but yeah, well, you know, doesn't matter, does it really? And then again, he can hold this the exact same way, so just pop it in his head. Come here, just pop it in there. They said, come on, you held this earlier, there you go. So you hold that one there. And then you can have him holding, oh, apologies, out of focus. And then you can have him holding a beaker in the other hand. And at first I thought, this might be a bit of an issue, because it'd be nice if he could, I think actually that might have to go in the other hand. I don't think he's going to be able to hold it in that hand. I didn't check that. I didn't check that before I started the video, so there you go. I think he can only hold that. It looks like he can only hold the beaker in his right hand. Yes, he can. Ah, right, okay, I didn't realise that. Okay. So fine, never mind, he can hold the test tube in his left hand. Yeah, if I can get it in there. Come on. It's not as fiddly as I'm making it look, honestly. There. Okay, right. So there you go, you can hold them both. Now, as I was saying, I thought this might be a bit of an issue. I thought, well, he's never going to be able to get his arms, because he's got no butterfly joints in the arms. He's never going to be able to get the test tube over to the beaker, but actually, he does have enough articulation that you can indeed do that without too much issue. So I'm happy with that. I really thought it was going to be an issue, but it's not. He's articulated enough that it doesn't need the butterfly joints. So I'm happy with that. So I guess if you wanted to give him, you know, this thing, and you wanted him to hold it in one hand and then hold this magazine piece in another hand, oh, you wouldn't want to do that, would you? That'd be hot, wouldn't it? I don't know. I don't do guns. I'm British. You know, if you wanted to have him holding that in two hands, you could absolutely do that. So yeah, so those are the sciencey things he comes with. So again, very cool. Let's just pop him back over here for a minute. So then the other things that he comes with are, this is taking ages, he comes with 6 interchangeable faces. So this is the one that he comes with. Get that to focus in, come on. Alright, do it that way then, come on, there we go. So this is the one that comes pre-installed, and it's pretty neutral. It's got a bit of stuff on my one. I don't know if that's paint chipping. I think I'm not sure. But as you can see, he's got a nice sort of pearlescent off-white face with some nice blue eyes. So that's the one he comes with. I've given him the slightly smiley one. We'll get to that in a minute. He comes with a very angry one. He is not happy. He does not want to go out and fight. I'm a lover, not a fighter. He has this slightly concerned one. I'm not sure if it's concerned or dejected. I think either will work. And then he's got this one where he's in mid-sentence. And then this one where he's not happy, but he's not angry either. Do you know, I've got small hands. You'd think it'd be easier for me to hold these things. So yeah, he's not impressed, but he's not full on angry. So there's those. See, I said he comes with a lot, didn't I? He comes with a tiny version of himself in microscope mode, which is just adorable. It is so cute. And it's fairly well detailed, actually. It's got some nice paint on it. And there's some nice moulding on it. I think that's pretty cool. I like that. I think that's nice. I don't know what the heck I'm going to do with it, but it is nice. But I think the absolute best things that he comes with are these little mini bots from that one episode where they have to shrink down and go inside Megatron before he explodes. Congrats. Yeah, so you get, I mean, they're a bit flippity floppity, especially the brawn one. The brawn one's really bad, but they're really cute. I mean, they're smaller than mini mates, but they're really quite well done. And you get articulation on them, which is just mind blowing. So as I said, this is brawn, obviously, and I don't know how well you can see. I don't know how close up I'm going to be able to get this. Let me come over here and then I'll lose the light. Hold on, let me bring the light around. There you go, you can see his face is his eyes are a bit off, but you know, it's a tiny wee figure, so I'm not going to complain too much. So oops, come on, there we go. Again, he's got some nice moulding on him, and that they got articulation into this is just quite surprising to me. And there's his back. But yeah, the little heads will move. It's just mental. So yeah, they'll move, and then you've got little ball joints at the arms, and then there's a hinge at the elbows. Sorry, I keep going down. I've got a different tripod. I'm not used to it. You see, we've got waist articulation. Oh, his little legs just popped off. This is why he's a bit flippy floppy. He's got ball joints there, as you saw, at the leg. He's got a knee joint, and they even managed to get in a flipping ankle tilt. Look at that. It's awesome. Oh, I love it. I'm really impressed with that. Oh, his knee's just popped out now, though. Oops. Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. So you get a little brawn, and then you get a little Bumblebee. And Bumblebee's face bothers me because his eyes are way too low. I might have to just I'll add it to the pile of stuff I need to fix. I'll just paint that up at some point. But again, there's a tiny wee little Bumblebee, and his head moves. His head's on a ball joint, so you can even look down and look up. Well, we can't really look up, but you can look down. That's more than some official figures will do. He's got the same articulation. I'm not going to go through it again, but it's just cute. It's just adorable. Look at that. Who wouldn't want that on their shelf? And then, of course, you have to have the tiny version of Perceptor himself. Now, for mine, the scope had popped off in the bag, but it was easy just to pop back on. And again, you got a little bit of articulation in that. But yeah, he's awesome. I love it. I love that they've done this. I think this is just fun. It's fun, it's clever, it's added value. Yeah, I love it. I love it. Like I said, no idea what I'm going to do with them, but I'll find something. I'll find something to do with them. So, right, I think that's about it for the stuff that he comes with portion of the video. So I think what I'm going to do here, because this is going to get quite long, I'm going to stop here, and then I'll come back in a minute, and I'll put a time code on so you can just, if you don't want to see all that, you can just jump to that. But yeah, I'm just going to stop here for a minute, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so we're back, and I've tried to sort out my tripod problems, so hopefully you should get a better view of the figure now. Apologies for that. I do need to buy a new tripod, but it keeps forgetting. Right, so let's have a closer look at this gorgeous figure then, shall we? So, as you can see, here is his mush, and like I said, this is the one that I swapped over. I will say that the faces don't hold on massively well. You just pop them off like so, so just come to under the chin, just pop it off, and that's the bit that's holding it in. So we'll just use this one. So it just goes in there. Boop, boop. So now he's definitely not happy. Definitely a bit worried about something. But yeah, I mean, they hold. They don't get me wrong, it's not going to just sort of fall off. It's just a couple of times I've been messing with him and it's just popped off. But it's not terrible. I'm going to take that one off. Don't like that one. No, I like happy Perceptor. He's happy in his work. There we go. So yeah, I think that looks cool. So yes, it's based on the cartoon, so it's not heavily detailed. But it's nice, it's done well. There is some nice metallic paint on it. You get this lovely silver in a few places. But I think the real standout is this, this metallic blue is just gorgeous. I don't know how well that's coming off on the camera. I'm trying to get some light on it, see if it'll just, it sparkles. It's gorgeous, I love it. Yeah, and I tell you, this figure is weighty. I mean, he is heavy. From the legs down, everything is die cast. From the hips, everything down here is die cast. So he's definitely got heft. I would say possibly slightly too much heft, but it's not terrible. I mean, it's not like it's weightlifting or anything. There you can see you've got some details there. As I said, not a lot because it's based on the cartoon, but that's fine because for me personally, that's why I collect. I like cartoon accurate figures. So yeah, like I said, it's not a huge amount to look at. It's pretty sparse, but like I say, where the paint is, it's done nicely. So for the articulation, the head is on a rotational joint, but he also looks up. He can look up quite a way. He can look down a little bit. The scope will move up and down. Be careful not to pull that whole thing out though. It just sort of rests in there. There's no sort of tabbing point or anything. The arms will go all the way around on a soft ratchet. Oh, that went tight as I did that. Okay, maybe don't do that. Usually I just do that. I just realised as you turn it around it gets a bit tighter, so maybe not do that again. They do go out so far. I mean, you get quite a way up there. He does have a rotational joint just at the elbow, and then he's got a single joint here, but if you want, he does have a secondary joint, which now is not going to work for me. Why don't you want to work? There we go. So you get a full double joint at the elbow, which is nice, but didn't want to play. The hands rotate at the wrist. You also have outward movement, and that go like all the way, sort of wrist breaking action there. For the fingers, the bottom three are on a hinge at the knuckle here and here. The index finger is on a hinge here and here. It's a little bit tight, but it will go. There we go. And then the thumb is on a rotational joint there and a hinge here and here, so you can get quite far around. The thumb's a bit weird to me. I find the thumb a bit weird and I'm not quite sure why. It's just me. He does have waist rotation. He doesn't have an ab crunch because of his transformation. The legs kick out that far. And if you move the skirt at the back, it will go to the back that far. And they do hold as well. I mean, they're not too heavy that they won't hold. And then they go, oops, yep, and then they go out to the side that far. I will address this issue here. I saw Bobby Skullface taking some kind of tool to this bit to get it to come back out. You don't need to do that. If you rotate the leg back up, rotate it down again, it will just come back down. So you don't need any tool to try and rectify that issue. So you can see it on this side. See, it's just not it's not quite right here. It's sort of going back in. Like so, just rotate the leg forward, bring it back, come straight back down, not an issue. He has rotation just by there. A nice double knee joint. And then his toes or rather his entire foot will not rotate. I'm losing all my words today again. He's got an ankle tilt is what I was trying to say, but his toes will move up and down also. Let's get that back in. So yeah, he's pretty well articulated. One more point of articulation I forgot is that you can actually extend the scope just by rotating the dial on the top there, which is pretty cool. I like that. I haven't checked to see if the scope does actually work. I'll have to have a look at that. I'm pretty sure it does, but yeah, I'm not 100% sure. So, right, what else do I need to address? No, I don't need to address anything in this mode. He's pretty cool. He's he works. Everything works fine. I will say that unless you have him planted firmly, he does have a tendency to want to fall forwards, but it's not terrible. It's not going to fall over. Don't get me wrong. So, right, let's do a bit of comparison. So let's put him there. And then this is the G1 Perceptor that I have. This, I can't remember if this is my Takara or my Hasbro one. I have two, don't ask. But yeah, you can see it's a completely different character as far as I'm concerned. There's very little going on here that that resembles the other. You know, it's fine. You know, it's Perceptor. So, there we go. That's that. And then let me just bring in MP10. This is my KO Optimus Shine figure. Thank you, Ben, from Ben's Collectibles, for making me want this thing in the first place. But it is really shiny. But yeah, I think, like I say, it's not MP44, but it's around the same size. That's not bad. That's not a bad scale. As far as I could tell from the cartoon, Perceptor is around about Prime's height. He always seemed to be about in scale with Prime anyway, you know, about the same sort of height. So yeah, that's that works for me. Well, I'm happy with that. That's fine. And yes, my Optimus Shine does have dust on it because I took him out of the box and put him on display. Ah! I know, life's too short. Alright, so I think I've covered everything in the robot mode, so let's get to the microscope mode. Right, so I have done this a couple of times now, and I am going to try and do it in one go. Try being the operative word. I'm bound to stuff it up at some point. Alright then, so what you want to do first is you want to come down to the hands, and we're just going to flip these in. So you just want to bring this up like so, and there's a little panel in here, and this panel can be a bit of a sod to get out. There's I don't know if you can see it, there's like the tiniest of tiny little lips here. So this side is fine, but the other side keeps playing me up. Rotate the hand so it is backwards. Make sure you've got the thumb tucked away. Doesn't necessarily have to go on the inside, I don't think, but I'm going to put it in there just to be on the safe side, because you know what I'm like. Something will break. Something will break, won't it, Gov? Just push that in there like that, and then just get that in there, and then close that little panel back up again, like so. Do the same on the other side. This is the one. This one's a little bit tighter, so this one didn't have to play me up earlier. Oh, it's going to cooperate it. Cheers, thank you. Do the same with the fists. Get everything tucked away. Like so. And just shove that in there. Don't shove it in there. Don't shove it in there. And then what we're going to do here is you're just going to collapse these hands up, or these arms rather. Boom. And we're going to leave those alone for the moment. Right, and what you're going to do here is you're going to come to the side, and there's a wee tab here. And you're just going to open that up. There's one on the other side. Open that up. They are meant to keep all this in situ, but I'll be honest, they have a tendency just to not really, they don't hold in So they're not massively successful at their job, but I mean, it's better than nothing, isn't it, I guess? So yeah. So then you're going to come to this panel here, and you are just going to lift this up, and then you're going to just bring all of this out, bring that down like so. And you're going to want to do this on the other side as well, but it's slightly different, obviously, because you have to deal with the scope this side. And I've just knocked my light, come on. If I'm not knocking the camera, I'm knocking the light, flipping X. So just, we're just going to get that out of the way for a minute. We're just going to do the same here. We're going to bring this down. And I would suggest that you don't pull it at the shoulder section. Put your finger in there, pull this whole section down. I think... Well, I'm going to get to the problem shortly, but I think people tugging on this is what's been ripping this off. I mean, I'm not judging, I'm just saying, this figure, you don't want to rough handle it, you want to treat it with some respect, because otherwise that is going to happen. I've said that, something's going to happen now, isn't it? Because, of course. Anywho, let's just bring the scope down to here, and then you're going to want to lift this panel up. Well, I say panel, it's basically just a little bar, so lift that up. And then just leave that like that for the moment, because the next step is you're going to come around to the front and you want to get this piece up, and it's on a double hinge, so lift it up, put it there, and then just bring that whole section down. I just noticed there's quite a lot of bits of plastic in there from where I've been rotating the waste. Something to bear in mind, I guess. Bring this piece down. Look, I've got to point these things out, haven't I? Because you're going to see it anyway. It's on flipping video. And then what you want to do here is rotate the head around, and then you need to get all this stuff out of the way, because you need to be able to move this whole armature needs to come over here. There's another panel here which it's attached to. So you're going to just bring this up to about there, and then you're gonna you want to wiggle this whole section out. And I know that doesn't sound very professional, but I haven't found a good way to do it, really. The instructions say to move all this around first, but then I've not found it easy to get this out. So what I've been doing is just been... See this bit here? This bit is on a joint there. It's on a hinge there. I've been moving that down to there, and then I've been just sort of wiggling it up. And there's a... It's really awkward. You can see just in here. This is on a slider, this whole section. So what you want to do is you want to sort of wiggle everything around, and then just bring it up on that slider, which it should do. There we go. It's a little bit tight. That's it. And then everything should be more or less out of the way, and then you're just going to open that hinge to the back. Come on, there we go. And then that whole section should come out like that. So then you've got this sort of thing going on. Right, again, at this point the instructions are telling you that the head should be in, but I'm not going to put it in just yet because it makes it easier to do this bit. So let me just get that out of the way. What you want to do here is there's a panel here. You need this to come outwards. So what I found is the easiest way to do it is if you just rotate it, and then what you're going to do is you want to get your finger on the inside, you're going to push it out, and that'll get it out that far. And then you're going to want to bring it out and down and then around like so on that hinge. Now, the reason I rotated it around is because if you do it... Let me just put it back up a minute. I'll show you on the other side. So that's where it is. That's where it wants to be, because it wants to be down by there. Let me show you on the other side. If you try and do it here, there's no clearance. Let me show you. Oops. Be careful of that as well. You need to keep that up for the minute. So again, you're gonna don't get your finger in there. Put your finger inside. You can't really see what I'm doing, sorry. Put your finger inside, push it out so it gets to about there, so you can get to this tab piece now. Now, the issue you have here is that you see there's no clearance here now to get that down. You can't bring that down far enough. So that's why I suggest just rotating it, and if you're going to do it, make sure you get that out of the way as well, because you don't want to break it. So that's why I say just rotate it around to the back, and then you've got that much more clearance that you can just bring the panel down. It's got a lion now. I see, you worked on the other side. You're not going to work this side now, are you? You monkey. Let me try the other side. Ah, there we go. There you go. Now you've got the clearance. Now you can bring that whole thing down. There we go. That's got it. Actually, while we're here, we might as well carry on rotating this. So you just want it the other way around. So that's how you want it. We'll do the rest in a minute. We're going to leave that like that for a minute. Right, so now that we have all of that out of the way, it's a bit of a faff. I know. But still, there we are. It's going to slide down. Let it slide down. Don't worry about that for a minute. You don't need to worry about that. Right, bring the arms and everything out of the way for a moment. And then, actually, you do need that back up. Let's just bring that back up for a minute. This flap here, you want to fold inwards. So it's just going to go, and again, there's a slight clearance issue. Just needs to go there. So just leave that like that. Then you are going to take the head, and you're going to go rotate it towards the back. You're going to flap this. You're going to flap this flip down to there, and then this whole section is going to just rotate. This black bit is going to come out. It's going to come out here. Rotate the face forwards, and then eventually that face is going to end up, just bring this down, it's going to end up in there. So you want that to just sit in there like that, and we need that to be specifically in place for the bit that comes after we've fiddled around with this bit. You can unfold this piece at this point, just get that down to there, and then you're just going to rotate this piece up, just put it under there, and then you can just get that bit. This is an awkward bit and all, like that, like so. Right, now we need to address the shoulders, and this is where people have been having trouble, and I will admit I had an issue with the shoulders myself. So the way it works is you want to take the arm, you're going to rotate it to here, and then what you want to do is you're going to fold this bit this way. So that arm, it's not so easy to see, but you get an idea. It's sort of dog-leg that bit. Then what happens here is you just want to lift this little panel, and this is going to go in here. So hopefully this is going to work. Let's bring that all the way around, and then yeah, you see it kind of gets stuck, and then you have to give it a bit of welly. And I think, yeah, I'd say this worked earlier. I had this going perfectly earlier, but now it's got stuck. It needs to go down into that section, and it's not going on. Let's try this side. I knew this was going to happen. It worked absolutely fine earlier, and now it doesn't want to go. I'm not quite sure why. Let's try it this side. So again, rotate it round, and then you're going to fold that whole thing over so it's flat, and then the whole lot should just go in. I don't know why it's not going in. Okay, hold on, guys. I'm going to come back to this. All right, sorry about that. I had to take it away and just double check what I was doing. I didn't have this piece in the right place. I think because I had it plugged in there, it pushed it out of place. So yeah, this bit in here, this here, if you have that just like a millimetre out, it's not, you can't finish the transformation. It's just not going to work. So yeah, all right, so let's try this. again. Right, so let's flip this back out because it's gone back in. Do the same on the other side, and you're going to rotate this entire section in. Again, I think good practice is just keep hold of the entire section, and then let's bring this in, and then that tab is going to pop into there. Just need to sort that. There we go, and then do the same on the other side. Arms come down. Yep. Come on. Yep. That's not right. Come on, in you go. Oh, it's gonna play me up this side now. Come on, don't play me up, dude. It's like a millimetre off, and it's just. Yeah, it's not the. Why will you not go this side now? Come on. Let's get that. It's because I got the face wrong. So the face isn't quite right. Ah, come on. Honest reviews, guys. Honest reviews. It even comes down to how transformation. I'll have to bleep that out. Alright. Let's try this again. Oh, no, that's gone back in. Come on. Alright, there we go. We're right. We're in. We're in. We're in. We've got it. And the face has moved again, and that needs to be right in place. I might have to actually do some editing on this video. Alright, so once you've got to this point, let's try putting this back. It's just, so you need to put that bit in first, really, because now it's not going to close. There we go. Yeah, right. So then just lift these bits back up and put that little tab back in. I haven't found what you're supposed to do with this. To be honest, I've just noticed that flipping tripod slipped. Ah! Come here, bugger. Yes, I couldn't find anything to do with that. There's nothing in the instructions, so I've just ended up leaning it just to there because you can't fold it down anywhere. I'm going to come back to this assembly in a minute because you're supposed to do it first, but then it just keeps coming undone. So, alright, so at this point we should be here. Right, now what we need to do is we need to push the hips backwards, so you've got this going on. Bloody tripod slipped again. Alright, so at this point we're going to get there. We are going to get there. At this point you're going to rotate this leg upwards, and what is meant to happen here is this tab is supposed to go in this slot. Yeah, this is where the issues start, I think. So if you rotate it up, it will go in, but it won't stay in, so it will just keep popping out. So every time you deal with the legs, it comes out again, and it's a bit of a bugger. At this point I'm going to pull these wheels out, so you're just going to get a fingernail under there, hopefully. And then you're going to wiggle it over, and you want it like that. So it's just leaning like that, because otherwise the whole microscope mode will topple over. Disconnect this bit if it hasn't done so already. It probably has. Rotate that up, bring it down, and then there is a tab here which is meant to go in here, and again this doesn't fit particularly well, at least it doesn't on mine. I don't know if that's just a problem with mine, but that's how you want it, like that. And then you're going to come across and you're going to do the same on the other side. So just rotate that up, and if you don't have this in the right place it won't rotate, so you need to bring that back down. So bring that up, that's supposed to go in there, and I've just felt it's come out the other side. It's probably not helping that I'm holding it up and I don't actually have it on the ground, so yeah, I'll sort it out in a minute when I put it on the floor. Not on the floor. Oh, you know what I mean. Oh, I didn't pull that. I didn't pull this one out, did I, before I started all this? Come on. it don't matter because it's all going to fall out again in a minute anyway. Rotate this down, that one's come out. Put that in there. Let me put it down. Yeah. Okay, sorry. Tripod issues again. I need to get a new one. This is silly at this point. I'm having real difficulty getting this to work. So right, where were we? Now we're going to put these back in place because they will have come out. Yep, they did. Get in. Thank you. You want to flip down the toes. So now we are going to bring this bit all into play. So what you're going to do is you're going to just bring this up on that slider. And then it is going to, you're going to open this bit. You're going to bring this up, and then this armature is going to end up here. And this is what I was talking about with the IDW heads. This bit is spring loaded to accommodate this. So you're going to bring this over, and it's going to fit in there, and then this tab is just going to go into this little hole here, and then hopefully they said that'll all come together like so, and bring the scope down, and you can see this is just going to go in there, and you want to just bring this down. It says to do that earlier in the process, but it's fiddly, and then you should end up with something that resembles a microscope but is a bit flippity floppity. Yeah, this is my issue with the figure, and it's a shame because the robot mode is brilliant. I love the robot mode, it's fantastic, but this the microscope mode is it's because nothing tabs into anything, I think, is the issue, and it just doesn't hold together, unless I'm doing something really wrong. But I double checked. I watched Mgo's transformation yesterday just to make sure that I was doing everything right, and I was doing everything that he was doing, but I just can't seem to get mine to be as stable. His seems to be more stable, but I mean, it gets there, it gets the job done. And let's be honest, I mean, are any of us going to display it like this? Maybe. I don't know how you display your figures, but for me personally, he's going to be in robot mode the whole time. But for the microscope mode, I mean, it looks alright. You know, if I could get it to just get everything to hold in, it would be pretty good, but it doesn't hold in, and that's, I think, where this figure falls down. It's a shame, really, because, like I said, the robot mode is brilliant. It looks really good, but yeah. So okay, yeah, I forgot, you got to put these little tabs back in, but they've probably already gone back in anyway because they keep doing that on mine. Right, so let me talk about the arm issue for a minute. Now, I will admit, I'm not the best at transforming things. I'm not. I try and do it so it makes sense to everyone. With the less complicated things, I'm more confident. But when I'm paying this amount of money for a figure, I'm not as confident at doing the transformation on screen. So I did this a couple of times before doing the video because I wanted to make sure I got it right, and I still managed to bugger it up anyway. But regards the arms, like I said, that, I don't know if I can get to it now, that little panel, I might have to transform it back, but that little panel under there, under his head, you have to have it in like just the right place. I don't think I'm going to be able to get that out now. Hold on. Yeah, no, I'm going to have to transform it back. But let me just talk about it first, then we'll have a look about it afterwards. No, I'll tell you what, let me transform it so I can get to this bit and I'll show you what I mean. So just hold on a sec, I'll be right back. Alright, so I've sort of half transformed him back. So the issue, I think, and I may be wrong, but I think the issue with the broken arms has a lot to do with this bit of plastic here, this bit that you have to fold up. If it's more than like a millimetre out of kilter, you can't get the arms in. They won't go in. They won't. But worse than that is that if you've got everything right, you've got the arms in, you've had a little play with the microscope mode, now you want to go back into robot mode. If this is more than a millimetre out, you can't get the arms out again. This is my experience. I don't know if this is the actual problem. It might just be me being rubbish at transforming expensive figures. I don't know. But in order to get the arms out, I had to partially transform him back. Wiggle all this black out of the way, get this door down, and then I had to, and I hate doing it, I had to get a small screwdriver and just wiggle this arm out because it got stuck. And I don't know if the other arm is also going to be stuck. So let's have a look, see if I can get it out on camera. See now? If you pull it, it's going to stay stuck. I don't know what it's getting stuck on. I don't know if it's getting stuck on that piece of bloody plastic again, this bit here. I think it's a matter of tolerance. I think it's just... No, at all. Is it on the head? It's stuck on something, and I don't know what it's stuck on, but it doesn't want to come out. It just does not want to come out. And I think what's happening is that people are just pulling and pulling and pulling, and as they're pulling, they're putting stress on the admittedly quite small bit of plastic here, and it's just ripping off. I think this is a poor design choice. I think they could have done this panel differently. I think it might have been better if they'd have found another way to fold the scope up inside the body and have the bit that covers the back of the head flip out on this section, so it's here. Do you see what I'm saying? Again, I watched M go do this, and he doesn't seem to have any issues. I've just realised I've got that tabbed in. Maybe that's the problem. Doubt it, because it usually just pops out. No, it's still stuck in there. I've done it a couple or 3 times now, and the first time it went fine, and the last 2 times it just keeps getting stuck. And yeah, I think that's the issue, is what's happening. It's just stuck, and it just doesn't want to come out. Yeah, see, you don't want to do that. You don't want to be pulling on it. I think let me get this sorted, and then I'm gonna come back. Alright, so let's do my final thoughts. Yeah, he's got this face on again because the other one pinged off when I was transforming him back, and I don't know where the bloody hell it's gone. It's just disappeared off somewhere. So right, what was I saying about the arms? Yeah, so like I said, it might just be me. It really just might be me. But it would explain why some people's arms are breaking, because I don't think that the joint itself, the arm joint itself, is a poor joint. I think the design is shady, I would say. Bloody tripod's going to go again. Sorry about this, guys. I'm just trying to get a tripod to work. Yeah, I think that's the problem. I don't think it's the best designed figure. Keep trying to get everything to go in now, and it for some reason doesn't want to. I'm going to have to fiddle about with him in a minute. I think what I would say is, if you are thinking of buying this figure, buy it forewarned that there could be a problem with it, but that there are ways of mitigating a problem. Like I said, if you just I'll just put this back now. If you flip down this panel and sort of, you know, shift the arms from inside if you can get to them. It's a bit of a faff, but that would certainly stop some of the stress on the arm joints. If you can't get to it that way, come on, get wait. Why? Okay, I'm gonna leave that. If you can't get to those bits, there are 3 screws on the back. Just unscrew those, this entire panel comes off, and then you can take those, you can get the arms out, and then you can screw the panel back on. So if you're really stuck, if it really won't go, I would suggest that that is the way to get them out. I don't like, this doesn't want to go down now, come on. He's playing with me, he's playing with me. Alright, there we go. I'm not going to put it in its tank mode because it's stupid. I think it's stupid. So I'm not going to bother with that. Also, that's where people are finding that they break. It's something to do with, there's a tab on the leg, I think, or I'm not sure. But I'm not going to do that. I think MGO did that. If you want the tank mode, please go and look at that. So I'm not trying to fob you off or anything. It's just that, honestly, I love this figure. This is a great figure, but by God, is it really frustrating. It's just, it is, because I wanted it to be so good, and it is good, it's a good figure, but it just has its problems. And I've got to be honest, look, I don't know if you can see that, but there's quite a bit of, in his waist, I don't think you can see it on camera, but in his waist it's getting a, it's probably just because it's new, but there's some sort of red pieces of red plastic sort of shaving off from there. I don't think it's an issue. I don't think it's a big issue. I think it's just because, you know, I've been fiddling with it for the last 2 hours. Yeah, that's about as long as it's taken to do this review. But yeah, like I say, it's a good figure, but you're gonna have to give it some leeway. I think at the end of the day, it comes down to whether you want this one with the admittedly really cool accessories it comes with, but it has some issues, or if you want to wait for the Fans Toys one, which is 3 times the price, but you may not have these kinds of issues. I don't know. I don't own a Fans Toys product yet. I am waiting for the Soundwave reissue to turn up. Paradise, something, Robot Paradise, or whatever they're calling themselves now. I'm waiting for that to turn up. So I don't know the quality of those. I hear people just raving about them, saying that they're the best thing since sliced bread. I don't know, don't have one. But yeah, I think it comes down to that. Lower quality products, but it's a lot cheaper. You just got to be careful with it, is all I'm saying. So anyway, right, I don't think I've got anything more to say about this. I got to fiddle with it and put bits back. Yeah, it doesn't quite seem to go together properly the way it was when I took it out of the box. I don't know what I've done anyway. Like I said, I'm not very good at these transformation bits. So that's it. I'm going to go. Hopefully you found this video useful, at least. If you have, drop it a like. Comment, subscribe, do all that stuff, and I will see you in the next one. So as always, thanks for watching, take care, and bye for now.